right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I think it was 2 days ago that Robin called me just before we were going on the air, and she said, my battery's dead. And so I said, well, we should call a cab. And I said, wait. What we should do is call Uber. Everybody always talks about Uber. So I went to Uber.com. I signed up. I became a member of Uber. I'm all ready to get a better rate for Robin to get a taxi cab equivalent. And then it turns out I have to download the thing to my smartphone, and I don't have a smartphone. So the old-fashioned taxi cab was called.
Yes,
and Jim George was who I was thinking about, because, Jim, you're always telling us about gadgets, and so you're here today to do that again. The phone lines are open if you want to join the conversation. Jim is from American Cable Services here in Ocala, and in addition to cable TV, which is the first thing he started talking to us about, he has expanded his repertoire of topics to include all kinds of gadgetry. The phone number is 622-9622 if you want to speak to Jim. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
We missed you last week.
Yeah, I feel you guys were out of town, man.
Yeah.
So you're celebrities. I was just saying, you need to go to the mall, get a booth, and say, have your picture signed with Larry and Robin. To Martha, love Larry and Robin. To Sam, love, celebrities.
We were celebrities for 4 days.
Yes.
We had these, and to prove it, we had these little things. What do you call lanyards?
Lanyards
that hung on our necks that said "celebrity."
And did you get pictures of yourselves? Any selfies or?
We got pictures of us. Let's see, one with the guy who did the Seinfeld music.
Yep.
And one
Jonathan Wolf.
And one who was an actor in the movie 30 Rock.
Yeah.
So they were the real celebrities.
Yeah.
All the word celebrity meant is you could eat for free.
Oh. Hell, I'll take one of those.
Oh yeah, it was a good thing to have.
Yeah.
I was happy to be. In fact, I'm usually very resistant to wearing any name tags.
Right.
Yes.
But that day, those 4 days, I should say, I wore mine because I wanted that food.
Yeah.
That's right. They wouldn't serve anybody unless you had that name tag on.
You absolutely, you couldn't even go in the room without it. So,
no, there was security outside in the convention
Wonderful.
center, and they said, you don't have, because one person didn't have their name tag, the other kind of name tag, and they said, nope, you got to go back and get it because he can't let you in.
Jim, they also had, what's it, gender neutral?
Yes.
Gender neutral bathrooms. I could have gone in.
You could have.
But I said, nah, I don't think I will. I'll go to the men's room.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
The ladies' room. The ladies' room was gender neutral.
Oh,
you could have
boy,
gone in there
boy.
with the ladies.
Right, and then the young girls, because most of them were college kids, so they're not that comfortable with going into a bathroom where there might be a man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got that question. I was in there, and then all of a sudden I heard this younger girl say, "Are there any men in here?" It's like, no, come on in, you're safe.
So I have a technology thing to tell you. My phone buzzed while I was up there, and it was from one of the vendors somewhere in the convention center, and it said, "Congratulations, you've got a piece of technology. Come pick it up. It's for free." And I said, "Cool, Robin, I'm going to go find this guy." So Robin stayed at the place we were supposed to be at, and I'm walking around looking for this guy, and I finally find his booth, and he hands me a little tiny white box, Jim, and guess what was in the box? The exact same thing you've given us.
Oh, the little earphones?
No, the thing that charges your...
Oh, the charger.
Yeah. A little
Yeah,
charger.
that was cool.
And I said, wow, did you mean to send this to me? I mean, this should be for the students. Nope. He said the computer just picks them at random. If you're signed up for this convention, then you're in the system. So
Right. Well, good for you. Yeah, technology, as I was saying just before the show, is passing even me by. I can't learn it fast enough. I really can't assimilate it fast enough. It's really a whole new world for people who think differently when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
It's almost like if you missed Algebra 1 and you're taking a calculus class. Somewhere along the line you missed some basics.
Right.
And it seems like although you think you know an item or know a subject, like I was saying to you, how would you react if you came in tomorrow morning and come to find out that the board that you're used to using is an all-new board that has no knobs, no sliders, nothing, instead it's got like a computer screen, and a lot of it's verbal, voice command.
Yeah.
Mic 1, up 3 notches, please, something like that. What kind of learning curve would you have on that kind of a board? And that's what's happening in our industry.
That is true. But I would say if you agree with this, that when computers first started and you had to put C:// and all these all these things. That was actually harder to do than after Windows was introduced. I mean, once Windows was introduced, it really was a lot easier.
Right.
And I think it's become easier.
Once you learn it, you probably you feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
But until you learn it, you're like the learning curve, you might say. It's great. It's great for a person that's a little older.
You know what's weird to me is the fact that all the manuals, what do you call a manual? Like a help?
Manual.
Like when you buy a device, you used to get a book. What did they call them?
A manual.
Instruction sheet.
Instruction manual. Yeah. Well, they used to be like 4 inches thick because they had every language on the planet.
Right.
And only 3 pages was English.
Right.
Or any.
I'd rip out the English and throw the rest.
But now
away.
they're all online. You don't even they don't even give you it. They say here. So if you have a manual for your computer and your computer doesn't work, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And even some of the software that you download. You no longer get a CD. You just downloaded it from the internet.
Right.
If you lose your computer or if your computer crashes,
right.
you have to prove that you have the legal right to
right.
And you say, wait a minute, I downloaded it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, in music, we do production of music at home. We have a little home setup. I wouldn't call it a studio. But some of the devices, like a reverb unit or an equalizer unit, where in the old days it used to be a physical, tangible piece of equipment that you put into a rack. What they sell you now, and it could be $200 or $300.
Right.
What they give you is a postcard. And that postcard has a unique, long number on it.
Yes.
And what you're supposed to do is go home, sign onto the website, put in that long number, and then, okay, there's your device. That's your device you just paid $300 for.
Right.
Yeah.
And if your computer crashes, that's gone. And if you lost that card,
lots of luck.
You're out of luck. That card is your equipment, really.
Well, that's what's happening. Even my wife's own personal computer, she'll have some software she buys for cropping pictures because she raises golden retrievers, and then she'll say to me, "I need to do this or do that, or buy a new computer. How do I download that software again?" I said, "You're out of luck." That's all I can tell you.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm always requesting a CD, and now my IT guys are telling me, well, if you, instead of downloading it to your computer, download it to a hard drive that is a secondary hard drive.
Right.
And then send yourself an email saying, post-it note number 3, this device is code is, send yourself emails that have you.
Right.
So right now, my wife has like 27 emails she sent herself with all the passwords. The passwords for this and the password for
that's it.
They're
That's
all
what
in
you
emails.
have to do. Yeah.
And then she has a subject. This is my LinkedIn. This is my so-and-so.
Print them up.
I have to do that.
Put them in a drawer somewhere.
Unbelievable.
Do you know, oh gosh, I lost track of what I was going to say here. Well, never mind then.
Yeah, it was not important. Yeah. It'll come to you.
Gosh, it was something I thought was appropriate to what we were going to say.
Well, I was just telling you, Joe and Dan, if they are listening, they're so glad you guys got back Monday.
No, we were listening to part of it as much as we could, and I watched a part of it too. It was fun. I thought they did really good.
They did good. They fed off of each other, as I said. It was good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But the Galen came in and really helped. I don't know if he listens after he's on the air or not, but he really helped, and he's very techie. Man, that guy knows a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Him and his kids, because they do all that pie in the sky stuff. Download this and zoom in on that, and his cell phone is his office.
Absolutely.
My cell phone's a phone.
right. My phone is too, but I really am convinced that we need to upgrade at least to something that's called smart.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back. If you want to call the show, 622-9622. We'll be right back with Jim George.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. Well, today, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high rip current risk at the coast. There can be a shower with thunderstorm as well later today, especially over the interior, the high 84 to 88. Partly cloudy tonight, there can be a brief shower or two in the area, low 69 to 73. For tomorrow, more clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm or two, the high 82 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
It's an in-state rivalry game this week as the Florida State Seminoles take on the Miami Hurricanes. Make sure you check it out right here on WOCA, brought to you by Tri-Eagle Sales, your local Bud Light distributor. The kickoff is at 8 p.m. this Saturday night. Florida State versus Miami right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA The Source, brought to you by Tri-Eagle Sales. Don't miss it.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Do you have areas that have started sagging or drooping? Is what you're looking at not quite the same as it was years ago? Are there enhancements you've been putting off? Is there serious damage you need fixed? Then call on us, Damage Control Services. When your roof is sagging and the drywall is drooping after a storm, or your home just needs some enhancements, from damage repairs to new construction, Damage Control Services is here to help.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking: will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Pozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Boy, it's a nice looking Friday out there. Jim George is in here from American Cable Services. If you have a question about your cable TV, that's a good idea to call for. And any technology question, or if you're just finding the conversation fun and you'd like to be part of it, you can do that as well. Yeah, it is a lot. I kind of like technology, though. I mean, I love going to Best Buy. You know what's really popular is these video games. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's a silly thing to say. They've been popular forever.
Right.
But again, we were with people we're not normally with last week. What do you mean by that? Is college-age kids. I'm never with that age group ever anymore. And it was amazing how regular arcade-type video games are still very, very popular.
Air hockey, too, they had. But it was electronic.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. But it is amazing how that is still popular. I thought for sure that was by the wayside by now.
No, kids of all ages, as Barnum and Bailey used to always say, if you're a gamer, I mean, I've had Dave Ashworth, one of my IT techs, in here before, and I think he's 42, and then my new IT guy, I think he's about 38. They play video games all day long, so you wouldn't, because they did it when they were younger. Now, when I grew up, you played with sticks and rocks,
No, I'm sure you had things.
There weren't really any games. It was really, TV came out, in, let's say, in color, like in 1954, but in black and white, earlier than that. And then you had to afford a TV. Times are changing. It's hard. You can hardly find a family that doesn't have a TV. Now, unless they don't have a TV on purpose. But TV has become a necessity. Internet's become a necessity because you have to look up stuff. Even in classroom, high school kids have come home. They do their homework online. My daughter got her master's degree online.
Yeah.
Only had to attend like 2 courses.
Isn't that amazing?
And take the test in person. Everything else was online. And personally, I don't like to sit before that screen all day. Looking at that 13-inch monitor or 15-inch or 17 or whatever it is. I don't like to do that. So I'm a real hands-on person. I want to go out and get it fixed. I want to go get it done and move on. But adapters are a big thing. You probably noticed yourself. You might have a power supply, and that power supply might be 7 volts, and it might feed your cell phone. But then you have a different power supply, and it could be 9 volts, and it feeds something else. And so you have all this drawer full of these power supplies, the little wall warts, and each of them have different ends, you know. But you can get a power supply today that has a little slider on it. Even Radio Shack sells them, and it starts off at 2.5 volts, and as you move it up, a little LED says how much voltage is coming out.
Oh, wow.
And then there's a whole bag full of adapters. And so it's just got an in on it, and you plug it in, and so it could be a 9 millimeter to 9 millimeter, a 9 to 7, a 7 to 3.5, you know, so it fits anything.
So what is interesting is you have shown us that you can take a phone, let's say from having no power at all to having full power, can take a couple of hours sometimes to charge, right?
If you plug it in with a wall wart, yeah.
Yeah. But yet you have these other devices that can fill it up instantly.
Yeah, almost instantly.
Okay, so do they have something like that for these electric cars? Because the electric cars, they have to sit for like 8 hours to charge completely, right?
Yeah.
So is there a way to give them more power quickly?
Yeah, there is. See, so when you have a charger, or you take your battery into Napa or someplace to get it charged, they put it on what's called a trickle charge. A little bit of voltage constantly over a long period of time, and it fully charges it. But you can boost that battery, you know, in minutes with a different type of charger. So instead of think of it as the ever-ready bunny of chargers.
And is it dangerous to do it quickly like that?
Yes. Theoretically, the battery could explode.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so they put it into a little cage. There's a little device that's made for it. You set it inside, you plug it in, and within 5 minutes, the battery's fully charged.
How do they regulate things at the convention? Because when we walked around to the different food booths and things, everybody had electrical connections coming out of the floor. And now we thought this would be on ground level. So how can all of those people there be supplied with all that electricity without anything burning up?
Yeah, well,
huge area.
The amount of voltage going into like the Orlando Convention Center is unrealistic to you and I. I mean, hundreds of thousands of volts going in there. Step-up transformers and step-down transformers. So you may bring in 480 volts, but it could step up to whatever you want it to be, or step down to whatever you want it to be. So 480 may come in, but every booth may have 120. So you can plug in your laptops and things like that. If you look, a lot of times you'll see cords hanging from the ceiling. There's a catwalk up there, and they're bringing the internet down, or they're bringing the voltage down. But that's a whole new area of expertise, convention centers and power and everything.
So you went to a convention last week?
This week, actually. Got back last night.
Oh, that's right. And when you go to them, or maybe just in listening to people talk or watching things on TV, is there something around the corner that is exciting to you?
Well, the one I went to this week dealt with broadcasters, both radio broadcasters and TV broadcasters, and dealt with the new lenses that Canon is bringing out. They have a camera that is so low light. They demonstrated that they turned all the lights out in this room we were in, which is probably 100 feet by 100 feet. And then they turned on the camera, and then the large screen, which was blank also because all the lights were off and there was no video content. When they turned it on, you could see everybody just as if it was new and outside.
For still photos?
No, for motion, for camera.
Really?
For TV. Unbelievable.
Wow.
It's the lowest light lens, ever made. And it's a takeoff of the lenses that NASA uses. And of course, Canon is known for their lenses. But a lot of the people on the forum up there were saying the lenses are so expensive that cameras have become lens adapters. So instead of buying a camera for $15,000 and then choosing what lens you want, now the lenses are so expensive, you buy a lens, and then you buy the camera's your adapter.
Oh, wow.
But the lenses are just unbelievable. So that's something that we saw new. And that's going to roll right over eventually to even your cell phone, taking pictures literally in pure black. You don't even need a flash. just takes a picture.
Yeah, because people now, I mean, gosh, you take the photograph with your camera and you're posting it right away. I mean, it's like they're phasing out cameras.
Yes, they are. They're phasing out cameras. So broadcasters, of course, still need cameras. But
Right.
they said that less than 7% of all their video production in the field is done from a video truck. The rest of it's all done from cell phones.
Really?
Less than 7%.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
So like Channel 2 in Orlando may have 2 vehicles on the road that do ENG, electronic news gathering,
Oh,
and
okay.
have the telescopic pole that goes up.
Right, right.
And now everything's done from cell phone, 4G and 5G.
So
on
why?
your cell phone.
I'm wondering if this is affecting the camera industry. I'm wondering if they're having a hard time staying afloat.
Well, and it might be the 2 camera people that were there were JVC and Canon, and you would think of all the different camera manufacturers, Hitachi and all the the big world, that they would be there. But then you're right; it's coming down to a few chosen camera manufacturers.
Oh man! And phones take over the role of cameras, and they are good. I guess. I mean,
They're getting better all the time.
They're good online. I don't know if they're good for print photos. Are they?
Yeah, you
Not
could
as
take a
good, are they?
snapshot with a camera, as you know, take a picture and still. But there again, they send it into the desk, and then the news desk will crop it, depending upon what they want to show.
Right.
And then, and based on the amount of pixels, can they open the picture up wider or smaller? Because if you don't have a lot of pixels, if you go to open the picture larger, try it yourself. Just download a picture and try and open it up bigger and bigger, and you'll see it disappears.
It does.
Doesn't have enough lines of resolution.
Yeah, it's
But
all blurry and
I'm sure this new 6S camera they have out that's built into the 6S Samsung.
Right.
That thing's probably, that's a $700 cell phone.
Do you know
Wow.
the one thing that I think the consumers have been calling for, and this was one of the topics that you first started talking about, was the a la carte.
Yes.
And to me, the only reason I can see why that hasn't come around yet has to be because the cable industry just simply wants to keep getting that money. And I guess the silver lining to that is that a channel that I might like that most people don't like will still exist.
Right.
So, if everybody's not watching it, they get rid of it normally. But if it's part of a package deal that we're forced to pay for, then it stays afloat, I guess.
Right. Well, there's a one-time cost, you might say, to add a channel to your head-end, and that could be $5,000. But if you mingle it with National Geographic Channel and Hallmark Channel, things people want to watch, then you have a lot of eyes watching it. You get to charge a lot of advertising. But if you have that one channel, they call it the Worm Watch channel, where they pick people from all over the world are sending in videos of worms.
yeah.
Who wants to see that?
Is that real?
Well, there's probably two guys in the world that monitor worms, and that's
Yeah.
a great channel.
Wow.
But 2 people can't
Terrible
afford
channel.
Yeah, a terrible channel. So the bottom line is they bundle it on purpose, and the cable TV industry has said if the FCC requires that they unbundle channels, over half of all the channels will go away.
Gosh.
Well, so
But there again, a la carte is the way to go. If you want that
I would
channel,
say-
pay for that channel.
I would say.
Exactly. Buy that channel. Then it won't go away if it has
No.
viewers.
Since the infrastructure is in place and the satellite receivers picked it up and the content is there, then you can charge a reasonable fee for that one channel.
Exactly.
That's all there is to it.
Exactly.
So how does a really small town survive? I mean, like Holder or something. I mean, I'm sure they have cable in Holder, but
Well, yeah, but that's where Dish and Direct have shine, but they go into
right,
places of the
right.
world where you cannot get. I mean, you can go to darkest Africa and watch TV. I mean, in the bush.
isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Where you have to have a backpack generator.
In the bush.
And as long as you crank up and you got the bush. I didn't say the hood.
Jim, what's your phone number?
854-9795. Go into the bush.
So be careful. You said you won't be here next week?
Nope, I'll be in New Orleans.
Well, be careful up there and bring
New
some
Orleans.
beads. I heard that they're very valuable.
What is? The beads?
Beads.
The
Oh, I'll
beads.
bring back hundreds
From
of
New
beads.
Orleans, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be
All right, thank you.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. It's the end of the road for the Pentagon's $500 million program to train